Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to explore one of the most powerful books ever written about human behavior, The Laws of Human Nature. This book teaches us something that many people spend their entire lives trying to understand: why people think the way they do, why they behave in certain ways, and how we can better understand both others and ourselves. Every day, we interact with people. We talk to our family, friends, classmates, coworkers, and even strangers. Sometimes those interactions are pleasant, while other times they become confusing or frustrating. Have you ever wondered why someone suddenly became angry, jealous, distant, or manipulative? The answer often lies in human nature. Human nature is the collection of emotions, instincts, desires, fears, and habits that influence how people behave. No matter where we come from or what language we speak, we all share many of the same emotional patterns. Understanding these patterns helps us make wiser decisions and build stronger relationships. The first lesson is simple. Before trying to change other people, learn to understand them. Most conflicts happen because people misunderstand each other's intentions. We judge too quickly, assume too much, and listen too little. If we become more observant and less reactive, we gain a tremendous advantage in life. Why do emotions control our decisions? Many people believe they are completely rational. But the truth is that emotions guide far more of our decisions than logic does. Think about the last time you argued with someone. Did you carefully analyze every word before speaking? Probably not. Most likely, your emotions took over. Anger, fear, pride, embarrassment, or excitement often influence our choices before our logical mind has a chance to catch up. One of the most important ideas in the laws of human nature is emotional self-awareness. If you don't understand your own emotions, they will control you. But if you recognize them, you can make better decisions. For example, when someone criticizes you, your first reaction may be to defend yourself immediately. However, if you pause for a moment and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? You create space between emotion and action. That small pause can prevent many mistakes. Successful people are not those who never feel emotional. They are the ones who manage their emotions instead of allowing emotions to manage them. Why do people wear masks? Everyone wears a social mask. People often hide their true feelings because they want acceptance, respect, or safety. Someone may smile even when they are unhappy. Another person may act confident while secretly feeling insecure. Some people pretend to be kind because they want something in return. This doesn't necessarily make them bad people. It simply reflects human nature. Instead of judging people only by their words, pay attention to their actions over time. Consistent behavior reveals character much more accurately than promises or appearances. If someone's actions repeatedly contradict their words, believe the actions. Learning to observe quietly instead of reacting immediately allows you to understand people more deeply. Why do people become selfish? Every human being naturally thinks about their own interests first. This may sound negative, but it is simply part of survival. People want security, recognition, love, success, and respect. Sometimes these desires cause them to ignore the needs of others. Understanding this doesn't mean becoming cynical. Instead, it helps you communicate more effectively. When you understand what motivates someone, you can build stronger relationships, negotiate better, and avoid unnecessary conflicts. Empathy is one of the greatest strengths you can develop. It means seeing the world through another person's eyes while still protecting your own values. Why is self-awareness so important? The hardest person to understand is often ourselves. We all have blind spots. We blame others for problems we helped create. We exaggerate our strengths and minimize our weaknesses. Our ego protects us from uncomfortable truths. Self-awareness begins with honesty. Ask yourself difficult questions. Why did I become angry? Why do I fear criticism? Why do I repeat the same mistakes? Why do I attract similar problems? The more honest you become with yourself, the faster you grow. Personal growth doesn't happen because life becomes easier. It happens because you become more aware of your own behavior and choose to improve it every day. What is the biggest lesson from today's discussion? The greatest lesson is that understanding people gives you power. Not the power to control them, but the power to communicate wisely, avoid unnecessary conflict, build meaningful relationships, and make better decisions. Human nature never disappears. Technology changes, society changes, fashion changes, but human emotions remain surprisingly similar across generations. If you learn to recognize emotional patterns, understand motivations, and improve your self-awareness, you will become calmer, wiser, and more effective in every area of life. Thank you for watching this first part of the Laws of Human Nature. In the next part, we will explore deeper psychological principles, including how people manipulate others, why envy is so common, how narcissism affects relationships, and practical ways to protect yourself while becoming a better version of yourself. Why do people manipulate others? Manipulation is one of the oldest behaviors in human history. Many people imagine manipulation as something only criminals or dishonest people do, but the truth is much more complicated. Manipulation often appears in everyday life. It can happen in families, friendships, workplaces, schools, and even romantic relationships. Why do people manipulate? The answer is simple. They want control. Some people fear losing power, while others want attention, approval, money, or influence. Instead of asking directly for what they want, they use emotions to persuade others. They may make someone feel guilty, ashamed, afraid, or responsible. In some cases, they flatter others with compliments to gain trust before asking for a favor. The best protection against manipulation is awareness. When someone pressures you to make a quick decision, pause. Ask yourself, is this truly my choice, or am I being emotionally pushed? Learn to recognize emotional pressure instead of reacting automatically. Strong people are not controlled by fear or guilt. They think carefully before making important decisions. They remain respectful, but they are also able to say no when necessary. Why is envy such a powerful emotion? Envy is one of the most hidden emotions in human nature. Very few people openly admit that they are jealous of someone else. Instead, envy often disguises itself as criticism, sarcasm, or indifference. Imagine two people starting their careers together. One becomes successful much faster than the other. Instead of celebrating that success, the second person may begin to criticize everything about the first person. They may say the success was just luck or that it wasn't deserved. Deep inside, however, they may simply wish they had achieved the same result. The danger of envy is that it destroys peace of mind. When you constantly compare yourself with others, you stop appreciating your own progress. Social media has made this problem even worse. Every day, people compare their real lives with someone else's carefully edited highlights. The solution is gratitude and self-improvement. Instead of asking, why are they doing better than me? Ask, what can I learn from their success? This mindset transforms jealousy into motivation. Remember, your greatest competition is not another person. It is the person you were yesterday. Why do people have different personalities? Every person is unique, but certain personality patterns appear again and again throughout history. Some people are naturally outgoing and energetic. Others are quiet, thoughtful, and reserved. Some enjoy taking risks, while others prefer stability and careful planning. Problems begin when we expect everyone to think exactly like us. We assume our way is the correct way, and we become frustrated when others behave differently. The laws of human nature teaches us to study people before judging them. Observe how they respond to stress, success, criticism, and failure. Notice what motivates them. Listen more than you speak. The more accurately you understand someone's personality, the more effectively you can communicate with them. Great leaders, teachers, and negotiators all share one important skill. They adapt their communication to the person in front of them, instead of expecting everyone to adapt to them. Why do people become defensive? No one enjoys feeling wrong. When people are criticized, they often become defensive because criticism threatens their self-image. Imagine telling someone they made a mistake. Even if you are completely correct, they may immediately begin explaining, making excuses, or blaming someone else. This reaction is usually emotional rather than logical. If you want to influence people positively, avoid attacking their identity. Instead of saying, you're wrong, try saying, let's look at another possibility. Respect opens doors that arguments often close. Learning how to give constructive feedback is one of the most valuable communication skills you can develop. People are much more willing to change when they feel respected instead of humiliated. How can we become better judges of character? Judging character requires patience. Many people make decisions after only one conversation or one first impression. However, character reveals itself over time. Watch how someone treats people who cannot benefit them. Observe how they behave when they fail, when they succeed, and when nobody is watching. Consistent actions reveal true values far more clearly than beautiful words. Trust should not be given blindly, nor should it be withheld forever. Trust should grow gradually as people demonstrate honesty, responsibility, and consistency. One of the greatest mistakes we make is believing what we hope is true instead of seeing what is actually happening. Stay objective. Let evidence guide your conclusions rather than emotions alone. What is the key lesson from part 2? The biggest lesson from today's discussion is that human behavior follows recognizable patterns. The more you understand these patterns, the wiser your decisions become. Instead of reacting emotionally, learn to observe carefully. Instead of judging quickly, become curious. Instead of comparing yourself with others, focus on continuous personal growth. True strength does not come from controlling other people. It comes from controlling yourself, your emotions, your reactions, your habits, and your choices. As you continue learning about human nature, you will become more confident, more patient, and more capable of building healthy relationships in every area of your life. How can we master our emotions? One of the greatest battles in life is not against other people. It is against ourselves. Every day, we experience emotions that shape our decisions. We feel excitement when opportunities appear, disappointment when plans fail, anger when we feel disrespected, and fear when facing uncertainty. The problem is not that emotions exist. Emotions are a natural part of being human. The problem begins when emotions become our master instead of our guide. Imagine receiving an insulting message. Your first impulse may be to respond immediately with equal anger. But if you wait an hour or even a day, your perspective often changes. What felt like a personal attack simply have been someone's frustration or misunderstanding. Learning to pause before reacting is one of the strongest habits you can develop. A calm response often creates better results than an emotional one. Ask yourself 3 simple questions before making an important decision. What am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? Will this decision still seem wise tomorrow? These questions slow down emotional reactions and allow wisdom to take control. Why is resilience so important? Life is full of challenges. Everyone experiences failure, rejection, criticism, disappointment, and unexpected setbacks. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is not that one group never fails. The difference is how they respond. Resilient people understand that failure is not the end of the journey. It is part of the learning process. Think about inventors, entrepreneurs, athletes, and artists. Behind every great success are countless mistakes, disappointments, and moments when giving up seemed easier than continuing. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" resilient people ask, "What can this experience teach me?" Every challenge contains a lesson. Sometimes the lesson is patience. Sometimes it is humility. Sometimes it teaches courage or discipline. The strongest people are not those who avoid storms. They are the ones who learn how to keep moving through them. How can we influence people positively? Influence is often misunderstood. Many people think influence means control others or convincing everyone to agree with them. Real influence is different. It begins with listening. People naturally trust those who make them feel heard and understood. When someone speaks, avoid interrupting. Pay attention to both their words and their emotions. Often what people truly need is not advice, but understanding. Kindness also creates influence. A small act of respect, honesty, generosity is remembered far longer than clever arguments. Your actions communicate more loudly than your words. If you promise something, keep your promise. If you make a mistake, admit it. If someone helps you, express genuine gratitude. Character is the foundation of lasting influence. Why should we never stop learning about people? Human nature is incredibly complex. Every person has dreams, fears, strengths, weaknesses, memories, and experiences that shape who they are. The more you observe people, the more you realize that nobody is perfect. Some people hide pain behind laughter. Some hide insecurity behind confidence. Some hide loneliness behind constant success. When you understand this, compassion becomes easier. Instead of reacting with anger, you begin asking questions. Instead of making quick judgments, you become curious. Instead of creating conflict, you search for understanding. This mindset improves every relationship in your life, whether with family, friends, coworkers, or strangers. Learning about people is a lifelong journey, and every conversation teaches something valuable. What is the greatest lesson from the laws of human nature? If there is one lesson that stands above all others, it is this: master yourself before trying to master the world. You cannot control other people's emotions. You cannot control their opinions. You cannot control their choices. But you can control your own attitude, your habits, your discipline, and your response to every situation. The strongest leaders are emotionally intelligent. The wisest people continue learning. The happiest people practice gratitude. The most respected people act with integrity even when no one is watching. Success is not built in a single day. It is built through thousands of small decisions repeated over time. Every day offers a new opportunity to become more patient, more thoughtful, more courageous, and more compassionate. That is the true power of understanding human nature. Final thoughts? As we come to the end of this series, remember that the laws of human nature is not simply about understanding other people. It is about understanding yourself. When you become aware of your emotions, you gain self-control. When you understand other people's motivations, you improve your relationships. When you replace judgment with curiosity, you become wiser. When you choose discipline over impulse, you build a stronger future. Growth is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming better than you were yesterday. Take time each day to reflect on your actions, learn from your mistakes, and continue developing your character. Read meaningful books, listen carefully to others, stay humble, and never stop asking questions. Life will always present challenges, but every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Thank you so much for spending your time with me throughout this series on the laws of human nature. If you found these lessons valuable, share them with someone who may benefit from them. Continue learning, continue growing, and remember that the greatest investment you can ever make is in your own character. Until next time, take care of yourself, keep an open mind, and never stop becoming the best version of who you can be.